So the whole department joining us now to discuss it is legendary sports agent Lee Seiberg. As much as you've seen in your career, you've never seen this. So $20 million divided by an athletic department, most of it's going to go to football in these power conferences, right?
So the 22% of whatever the athletic budget was for that conference now goes towards directly paying the athlete. What we had before this was image and likeness that was pitting one school against the other in recruiting.
Oh, Brenda.
Now they'll be directly able to pay players. The formula probably be heavily for college football, but less for college basketball, some for women's basketball, and it will probably decrease the amount of money for non-revenue sports.
Yeah, and I think 31 sports have already been canceled, the various athletic departments, because they're non-revenue and they're putting it towards football. On the NIL, here's what changes. There's now a clearinghouse to look at that offer and decide if it's fair market value. And they say roughly 90%.
Hey, Jim. Good morning.
Still examination. So they got their money and then they got their advertising, right?
Yes, what's happening now is that we have a player around Flag who goes to Duke and makes $28 million in NIL, and now he comes into the NBA and he has to take an first contract. We've had
Here comes Justin.
Hey, Paul.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm all right. Still in the
Are
hospital.
you still in the hospital?
Yeah. I might go home today or tomorrow.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's the diagnosis?
So the other night I was about an hour or two after I got off your show, I was sitting on the back porch and all of a sudden I just coughed like normal. You know, just a quick cough something you get for a second.
Yeah.
I spit up a bunch of blood. And I kept spitting blood up, so I went to the hospital. They said I had a minor infection in one lung, and it was the beginning stages of pneumonia, but they ended up catching it in time. So I didn't even show any symptoms for it.
Don't know, I've been following
But,
I've got messages.
Everybody's been asking about you.
yeah, I'm doing good. I got one more scan to do today, double check everything's okay.
Been asking, Paul, oh God, wrong person. Sorry, Justin.
But I should be going home, so maybe
Home
today or
or
tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, most likely. But then it was making me really sick, like queasy, and then they had to keep giving me all this medicine to keep me from throwing up. But I've been doing real good since last night, so.
Well, now, when you were throwing up, even at the hospital, were you throwing up blood?
No, I was only coughing blood up because I had a slight infection in one lung.
Today, but it says second, so that's all right. Then gas. Oh,
Yeah, I'm doing good now.
real.
Who's on the panel? David, Mark, how's it going?
All right. Hi, everybody in the chat.
Well, I know everybody's been asking about you, Justin. Everybody was concerned, even Joe.
Yeah, well, I messaged Joe the night before I came in because he had just messaged me about something he was doing, and I messaged him right back, and I said, "Well, I'm in the hospital too." He goes, "What the fuck for?" And I explained to him what happened.
Have you heard Laura in the background?
I hear a lot of bullshit.
Diamond says hello.
Diamond says hello.
Oh, hey, Diamond.
And she says she's missing you, Justin.
Yeah, I know. Ugh.
Well, I'm sure that Justin would rather be with you guys than in the hospital. Are they taking good care
Oh,
of you?
yeah, I'd rather be home right now.
We're all missing Justin. We got no one to bully.
Are they taking good care of you? Are they feeding you well?
Well, I'm on a liquid diet, so I'm eating nothing but like soup and like Italian ice and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Just message me and I'll tell you.
I had
Okay.
real food the first day, but I was so sick I didn't even want to touch it. I didn't even eat for the first day and a half I was in here.
Well, let's hope you get out tomorrow.
I'm hoping I get out maybe today if I'm lucky, but I doubt it.
You will stay where you are until you are better. Don't you be giving out instructions to Paul and Joe and all that and not taking it your own advice.
Like bits.
Oh no, if they let me go, I'm saying that's whether they let me go or not. If they tell me I gotta stay till tomorrow, then I'll stay.
Now, have you seen the doctor today?
Not today, but I saw it yesterday.
Is the
But I've
pneumonia?
seen about 15 doctors in a day and a half because I've seen about 15 different specialists that wanted to consult on my issue. So
So
about
is
every
the
2 hours I saw a different doctor.
You going, are you?
is the pneumonia clearing up then?
Yeah, I didn't even know I had it, Mark. Like they said I had it. I said, well, I haven't been coughing or anything. They said, have you been coughing? Have you been doing this? It's like, no, I feel 100% fine. And they
Well,
were like, that's weird.
you were coughing the other week.
Oh, a little bit, but it wasn't nothing that I would have thought I would have had to even take medicine for, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you cleaned out your AC, did you wear a mask?
No, I actually licked it clean. No, I didn't wear a mask, no.
You really should.
Well, yeah, now that you know you got a lung situation that might
But it
reoccur.
was just, well, it's a minor lung infection in one lung. So both of them don't have it. So,
Well, the timing is good for the kids. They're not there to witness this, but
well, Kelsey knows I'm in the hospital, but she did not tell Aubrey or Thomas because one, Thomas has got a big mouth and he'll run and tell Aubrey. And we just didn't want Aubrey to know because she'll freak out and want to come home. So
yeah.
there's no reason for her to. So
Well, if it's only one lung, they call it as pneumonia. If it had been both lungs, it would have been double pneumonia.
yeah, and the thing was, is it's so minor. I
There's a
wasn't
third
even
one
showing any
with a lung
symptoms of
break.
having it. So which is good because they caught it good. They pumped me full of really high end, like really strong antibiotics. So
Yeah.
Here's one.
I think it was good I coughed up the blood because it caught it early. So I didn't have to go through all the coughing and all that crap, you know.
It's a fluid on the lungs, isn't it? So they've got to make it so it gets rid of it all.
Right. And I think I got to the point where they caught it before all that really got out of hand
Yeah, that's good.
to where I would have been coughing up literally coughing up a lung.
Mm.
So,
Hey, Ron.
Good morning, Ron.
what's up, Ron?
You're on the roll.
Justin is just telling us about him. He's still in the hospital.
Well, the hell's the matter with you people? You're all breaking down on me.
It's all Joe's fault. He started us.
Motherfucker.
Everything happens in threes. So somebody else on the panel's going to the hospital.
It's 4 now.
I'm getting off.
If you count, if you count
Guess
Ray
what?
and Al, that's 4.
Rod said, I'm out of here. Fuck that.
I'm out here. I'm trying to go on vacation.
Guess what? Today, we've hit 35 degrees already. Heading for the 58, right? And then all of a sudden, the rain radar just went nuts. Apparently, we got a hell of a rainstorm coming. And then we got the bad news. It's not rain. It's flying ants.
Oh, God.
Flying ants.
Yeah, the rain radar has picked up flying ant day. There's that many of them. It's literally looks like a big rainstorm coming our way.
Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
you could probably appreciate this. I kind of just did something kind of politically incorrect. I stopped at what are they, a co-op up here in Canada. And I walked in
Oh.
and I looked at this dude and I started to giggle. He goes, "Well, why are you laughing?" And I said, "Do you ever watch The Simpsons?" And I was thinking of Apu, you know, at the Quickie Mart on The
Oh
Simpsons.
God.
The guy looked just like him.
Uh,
I don't think he understood me though.
Joe just posted in the chat that Dominic was in the ER last night. He sliced his palm open.
Well, there's the three.
It was on his left hand, and he shouldn't have any. And then he shouldn't have any problem with what he usually does with his hand.
This is number 3 then, Ron. You're out off the hook.
I'm good, man. I'm good to go.
That's 5, not 3.
That's 5,
Wait.
yeah. Because who else was in?
Ray Kelly and Al Churchione.
Yeah, but I'm talking about we're counting 3s on Paul's panel. Then.
Yeah, well, Ray's been on it before.
Oh, I know, but the other Al hasn't.
No, the other Al
Ray's
hasn't.
not still in the hospital though, is he, Mark?
No, he's out now. He's got pancreatitis, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray was the wild card. That don't count.
Jonathan.
All I know is I'm happy. I'm on my way to go chase the bears, catch the fish. I got my Tim Hortons coffee. Call me Paul Hodges, but I got my Tim Hortons coffee. I'm happy.
How much farther you got to go?
330 miles.
Oh wow!
About another 6 hours. I'll be up there.
Hey, what are you going to go do?
I'm
He's
going up
going-
to northern Saskatchewan, Canada. The new outfitter I'm working for in Wyoming also runs an operation up in Canada, and he invited me up early. I'm going up there in late August, but I'm taking a buddy of mine from work. But I decided to come up early so I'll make 2 trips up here this summer. But I'm getting a kind of lay of the land and big northern pike.
Or you're just going up there for like a vacation, though, right? Not to actually work.
Fishing, yeah.
Just vacation, yeah. So just to get away.
And you don't have to pay nothing for that, right?
No.
Oh, nice. That's even better.
Yeah.
Well, it costs you a lot of money and fuel just to drive back and forth, doesn't it?
Actually, it don't, Paul. I just put the last of gas in. It was $30-some. I'm still under $100 in fuel traveling.
Oh wow!
And it was it's going to be around 1,800 miles of driving. I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I got 4 or 5 hours sleep the other night at work. Not a whole lot. It was kind of broken up, but I drove all day yesterday, and I normally don't do this, but I had energy drinks. And then when I crashed last night about 7:30, I woke up at 5:30 this morning. I was like in a fog. I'm like, holy crap, I must have been tired, but I feel so different today. So energetic and ready to go.
Hi to everybody in the chat. I can't see it at the moment.
So is that 330 miles or 330 kilometers?
Miles. It's miles.
Oh, God,
Yeah, I
that's
switched
about,
my thing over to. I got my Google Maps up, and I've got it to show me how many miles away I am. But I also got the little speedometer thing on there, and
yeah.
it tells me what is the speed limit on in kilometers. So I'm safe, good to go.
330 miles is about 525 kilometers.
Yeah, I'm 79 kilometers south of Prince Albert.
And who's that just popped in?
That's 50 miles then.
Jonathan.
Good morning.
So
Hey, Jonathan.
this rainstorm here has been here since 9:40, even earlier than that. If you look, just does not move. And this is where we are right now, still there.
Well,
And
on the boat.
you said it's ants?
It's flying ants.
Get on the bus and come up here. It's only 22 here.
Oh God, I haven't seen flying
Get on the
ants since
bus. Get on the bus.
I live
The
in
buses around
California.
here are all breaking down. They're all conking up. We ain't going nowhere on no bus.
Look at your chopper then.
Yeah, I haven't seen flying ants since I lived in California. They got them out there.
Or do they?
Yeah,
Yeah, the fire ants. They got flying fire ants.
yeah.
Them
It's-
things will bite the shit out of you.
Literally all the female ants fly off, and wherever they land, they lose the wings, and they're either get lucky and get randy mandy, or they get eaten by a bird.
Oh, not these ones. These ones will keep flying all over the fucking place.
Yeah, these do. They fly everywhere, but once they land, they lose the wings.
Yeah, they
Beach
just black, not red ants.
Yeah, not the ones over here. They land on you. You go to. You what?
What's going on with you, bud?
Justin, you all right, man?
Oh yeah. I got a slide infection in one lung. They caught it early, which is good, and I have a slight upset stomach, but that has since gone away. So
We thought maybe you had pancreatitis.
That was Ray Kelly.
Ray Kelly's got pancreatitis.
Yeah.
no, they said I have ammonia, a slight infection in one lung.
It's odd to catch that this time of year.
Well, and the thing is they caught it early too. Like I wasn't even showing any symptoms of having it. The only reason they knew I had it is because I coughed up a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Well, there's two ways of getting pneumonia this time of year: COVID, or from cleaning that AC unit, which I think is what's happened. So all the bacteria once you spray it out.
I cleaned that thing a bunch of times though. Never had
Doesn't
that
matter.
problem.
Because it depends what's built up over this time.
Oh, Jonathan, what the hell's up there, Daddy?
Say again? Ron, how you been,
Johnny.
man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good.
See you, brother.
My mother made a statement to me that is very interesting. As far as people like sending their the drones to get repaired or whatever. And they didn't make the stipulation of, okay, the way they got it is anything coming out of China is getting tariffed. What they should have did was made the stipulation that if it's brand new being bought from China, so that way those of us who are sending products to be fixed, right, those of us who are sending products to be fixed could be returned without tariff being put on it. But like she told me, she said the way that they put it, anything coming out of China, so it doesn't matter if you just bought it or sent it to get fixed, they still have the right to put the tariff on it.
Plus, even if it comes to another country as well.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy about 3-4 days ago who posted a video, and he was like, "Don't worry, guys." He goes, "I figured out how to get the drones from Canada to the U.S." Turned out he didn't. The next day, he put out another video. He was like, "Yeah, it did work."
That's great. So I'm not
gonna
gonna send in my RC, my first RC Pro. I need to get it fixed because it won't calibrate. But
no, but you're better off holding on to it until they figure this shit out.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Because there's some people
don't they have a
where their shit
repair
has
center in
gotten
Dallas,
shipped.
Jonathan?
Yeah, but the problem is they don't have any replacement stuff. And the few people that was shipped out of the country to get fixed, they couldn't get it back in when they couldn't get the replacement.
Because I when I used to fly my Inspires, I sent it to Dallas. They repaired it there on the spot and sent it back.
Yeah, but they don't have any of the parts. They're running low on everything.
Out of parts. They can't get the parts without tariffs being slapped on it, so they can't get the parts.
Well, it's not even the tariffs. It's customs won't let it in. The tariffs are a completely separate issue.
Hey, morning, Sarah.
It's all about customs.
Sarah.
Customs won't let anything come through.
Yeah,
The tariffs
they
really aren't even the big problem. It's just customs.
Well, Sarah, you can go ahead and give us an update on
Yeah, we'd
Just a-
rather hear it from a
yeah,
a
we'd rather hear
reliable-
from an impartial observer.
a more reliable source than Justin.
Oh, but
basically what we're saying is we want the medical terms. We know you can give us the medical term.
she's been freaking out the last 2 days.
He's screwed. That's the medical term.
Sarah hasn't taken it too well, Justin.
No, and she came in here raising hell yesterday because they didn't have me on any fluids. She goes, "Why isn't he on fluids? Why isn't this?" I was like, "Uh-oh." My mama bear just came out.
Next time I'm in hospital, free ticket for Sarah to come over here.
Oh, she fucking was reaming. She was all over their ass when they came in here.
Did they start scurrying around?
Oh, but the doctor was like, I asked for anti-nausea medicine. They were supposed to bring it to me like an hour before she got here. And the minute she piped up, they all came in the room. She's like, "Why doesn't he have his medicine yet?" Like 10 minutes later, they were in the room giving it to me.
It's like yesterday at the Border Patrol guys yesterday. They were asking me about it. They never searched my vehicle, but they asked me what all I had in there, and I told them I had snacks. So they said, one of the most important things I have are Pop-Tarts. Guy goes, "Why?" And I told him, I said, "I've got a 6-month pregnant woman at my destination. You guys confiscate her Pop-Tarts, she's going to come down here and skin you like a Wyoming mule deer."
Captain Joe.
I was trying to joke around with it and fight the situation, but
Well,
Border Patrol guys like, "Let him through."
That he asked you how come you didn't buy you bought your car in a different state?
yeah, I was like, I said they don't have car dealerships where I live. It's kind of like here. I tell you what, guys, I'm happy. One thing Trey told me, he said, "Ron, find a gas station, stop and fill up no matter what your fuel tank's at." And he ain't kidding. You can drive quiet away and not see a gas station. It's like this last town I was just in. I mean, there was a hotel there. There were 3 or 4 restaurants. All kinds of stuff, like the John Deere dealer, all kinds of stuff. One freaking gas station. And thank God it was open. That's the place that had Apu and the Quickie Mart.
It gets me. The border
Paul has a
control,
point.
they look in your car and they see all them fishing rods and they go, "And what's the purpose of your visit?"
Yeah. Yeah, I purposely rolled the windows down and I had a bunch of fishing rods back there.
Okay. Good morning, Captain Joe. I would be careful what you're saying, because Sarah knows a lot of people in the medical field, and you're in a medical institution at the moment. You could be having a painful afternoon.
You guys notice Paul has the XP thing in his chat now?
Yes.
And it doesn't give any. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to remove it.
No.
You can't remove it.
Hello.
It's stuck like that.
It's bullshit. Just leave it. Just leave it there. Just ignore it. Once you
You can't
realize
do nothing about it anyway. It's a beta. It's a beta thing, so
Yeah.
you can't
once you
do
realize
nothing about
nobody
it.
wants it.
Well, they sell a lot of farm machinery up here. Holy
Well,
cow.
it's possible they rolled it out to everybody if Paul all of a sudden got it because he didn't have it 2
Yeah,
weeks ago when they
I
rolled
had
it
an
out.
update about 5 days ago.
Well, I'm
And
saying
I kept
they
putting it
rolled
off
that
and
out.
putting it off and putting it off, and then it didn't put off any longer. The next thing I know, it's updating.
Yeah. You know
I was
what?
gonna say,
If YouTube really wants to implement something that people in chat will use, right? They need to implement the physical YouTube poll. Bit like the Facebook poll, but this one physically pokes the person. So when people are on the panel ignoring the chat, they can press a button and it goes, "Oi!" and poke them.
no, I mean, it is good to see YouTube's trying to do something different with the chat. Because like I've said before,
When
their
you say
chat
trying
is
to do
really
something
outdated.
different, you do know it's TikTok and Twitch related, don't you? It's because they have it.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, but you see how popular those platforms are.
Yeah.
And they've got to keep up with the trends, otherwise it's not good for them at the end of the day.
TikTok thing.
Yeah. But wait till they start going, well, now you can get extra XP if you give a gift. Yeah. And start charging you.
Oh, good. I can start charging David.
Tell him to send the bill to David and Laura.
Well, they can send it to us. We need some toilet roll.
Whoa.
Lots of smoke up here. I guess I'm gonna run into some of those fires.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd recommend you don't run into them if I were you. I'd avoid them.
They got a lot of fires up there in Canada.
Honestly.
Yeah. They've been burning since last summer.
Yeah, got a question for you. You know when the smoke gets to the Canadian-American border, is Trump adding a tariff onto it when it comes over?
Not sure.
Because he said he's gonna tariff everything that comes from Canada.
Yeah.
Just see it like you're gonna pay for it. Paying their tax.
Yeah. I was waiting for that border agent yesterday to ask me, like, are you a Trump supporter? And then you can't come in.
Are we looking to Dolphy Finn?
Yo, Joe.
Here comes
Joe.
Joe.
Are you sure it's trying?
Oh yeah, we tariff all the geese that fly back and forth.
No,
to Canada.
it's Joseph.
Hey, so that means if I go to Canada, they're gonna charge me a tariff in order for me to come back. And if I don't pay it, I get to stay in Canada.
They'll charge you a tariff just for you.
Right.
I'm mad at y'all. Telling you, I'm really mad at y'all.
Why? What we done?
Because y'all not reading the shit I'm typing. I
Whoa,
went to
whoa. Excuse me. I did acknowledge you.
yeah,
I
he
said
did. I went to the Audubon Zoo and all the monkeys asked for Justin.
Oh damn.
Paul says, Paul with his wisdom says, Sarah, I need an impartial statement on what you call it. How in the hell does his wife say something impartial? I don't think he knows what that word means.
Because one, we trust Sarah. Two, she don't take his shit, right? And three,
Don't take nobody's shit.
yeah, he may be in the hospital, but at the least command, I get Laura to text Sarah, and you'll hear Justin go, "Ow!" You got it all covered.
I wouldn't do that while he's in the hospital, though.
Why you don't want Sarah to get arrested?
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for Justin to get beat while he's in the hospital.
Yeah, she won't message. There you go, Justin. Laura.
Oh, I get a fan of that.
Laura won't message Sarah while you're in hospital, but she is messaging the nurses.
He's writing it all down for when you get out.
No,
so I
she's
get a stay of
messaging
execution.
Yeah, no, she's just messaging the nurses. Yeah, just twist a little bit more. This one hurts.
They got my tray right this morning for the first time in a week.
What the hell are they doing on that train line? Paul, what are they doing on the train line behind you?
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Did you get that famous bed bath yet?
The what? The what?
I don't know. I think they might be treating the lumber or something. I don't know.
He said a bed bath.
That is a spur that is not used any longer.
In your case, I got no spurs not being used, and I got that nurse today that used to go to Mandeville as a dance on a dance.
Oh, here we go. Joe's
nurse
flirting
today.
with the nurses again.
She's my nurse
Picture
today.
that little nurse you sent the other day, that picture.
That's who I have.
Mm.
She came in, I looked at her and I said, "You look different with your hair up." She goes, "Yeah, I do." like that. She got her hair up today. She goes, I can't believe you noticed. I said, I noticed you for 4 years. So what's the difference? I noticed you.
Joe, serious question for you now. While you're in hospital and they're making you cups of tea, are they microwaving them?
FT. I'm drinking this nasty. Well, I think they're putting a boot in a pot with hot water, and that's what the coffee's like.
Oh, dude, they brought me a cup of coffee this morning, even though I don't drink it. Sniffed it, and I was like, oh, it didn't even smell good.
Well, today they got everything right. They got my my Juven. The Juven came on time, so I got that. I got to do this twice a day, and then they changed the glucona to Ensure Max Protein. It's
Hey,
got
Joe, do you get to
25
order your
grams. How many grams of protein?
Joe? Do you get to order your food through the TV?
No, they got a woman come up here. A woman come
All
up
our
here can't
shit's all
speak English.
interactive, dude. I could pull the menu up on the TV and make my order all through the TV.
Well, all I had to do in St. Tammany is just pick up the phone and tell them what I wanted.
And then there's an Alexa on the wall too that I can control the lights in the TV with.
There you go. Yeah, they got the Ensure Max Protein, which is 30 grams of protein, where the Glucono is only 10.
Oh yeah, they keep bringing me Ensure Clear, like the juice Ensure.
Yeah. But the good news is that the reason I didn't come right on is the surgeon came in. The plastic surgeon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was here with her team. When she walks around, they got 5 people with her.
What did they report?
Well, she told me, she said it was very clean. They said that vacuum system that washed it out, kept washing it out, got everything she needed out of it. She said they said there was no muscle damage or nerve damage. She said they had to just debride the edges a little bit to get rid of some of the dead skin. And she said, and what they do is they just kind of rake over the area they're going to put the skin graft on, just like you're saying something, you know. And when they raked over it, they said the skin grafts went right on, so they got them vacuumed down. So she told me this morning, she says, "Yeah, we can see about getting you home Thursday." I said, "I'm not in a hurry." She says, "Yeah, I know," and she says, "I'm not in a hurry either." She goes, "Because it's a holiday." I said, "I don't care about the holiday. I can sit right here." I said, "I was in boot camp on the 4th of July, you know." So she looked at me. She says, "Well, let's shoot for Monday." Because I want to give it at least 7 days. I said, she said, let's see what it looks like. So,
yeah, Joe. So I got on the TV, I got iHeartRadio, play games, surf the internet, watch a movie, watch TV, order your food, seek spiritual guidance.
Hey, Justin, Justin, can you see the chat? Can you see me?
No.
No.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see.
No, he can't. He's got a cell phone.
Oh, well, I'm flipping you off. Hey, Justin, if you press the button that says seek spiritual guidance, do you end up with Andrew?
Oh my God.
Hit that button and the Jehovah's Witnesses turn up.
You know what happens when Jehovah's Witnesses live next to each other and they need to go see each other? They knock on each other's doors and nobody answers.
Forget all that, Justin. Look for the eject button. All right, Joe. You the last of the Mohicans, man. We need you to come up out of there. Everybody else done made it out.
Listen to me. I don't need to get out of here for a week because they got to let that heal for a week. So it's better for me to sit my ass right here for a week and not be at my house walking around on it because I know I'm going to do it. And she said, we'll see Monday what it looks like. She goes, because I'm going to do it every 3 days. I'm going to look at it. She goes, if it looks good Monday, we'll let you go. If it doesn't, we'll wait till Thursday. I'm good.
Well, I swear, I just heard the truth come out your mouth. You said you ain't supposed to be on lead when you go home. You know you're going to do it.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, look, that's what I told everybody the other day. I said, Joe ain't going to sit still.
I'm sitting still here. I'm good.
Home, you sitting still now. By the time you get home, you ain't going to sit still.
That's why I'm
So
sitting.
you're not going to the wound care. They're just going to keep you there.
Well, they can't. Won't get my insurance. Won't pay for it.
But they'll pay
So
for you to stay at the hospital.
the hospital, as long as they give me IV antibiotics, to stay here. And they said they're gonna be giving me that until at least Monday, right? And
Yeah.
and Dr.
That's
Tran said
weird.
you can stay here, and the wound care team he'll take care of it. You know,
Yeah, that's good.
so I'm here. Unless something drastically changes, I'm here. You know,
Frank,
Well, I'm
what kind of
surprised they
drone?
don't pay for that.
What kind of
It'll
drone is
cover it.
that, Frank? Frank said his neighbor bought him a drone that's got wheels on it.
Oh, it's probably the that
Just a cheap
flying.
toy. Just a cheap
That's
toy.
all right, Sarah. Everybody understands.
An RC
Yeah,
car.
it's a car
Yeah, I said
drone
it's a drone.
thing. JD had one of those about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. He flew it
car
around in a
drone?
parking garage. Yeah, but it's not hobby grade though. It's just a little cheapy toy.
GoBots.
That would be badass to have a hobby grade version of that though.
Dude, I even got Raisin Bran cereal. I had sausage, eggs, and biscuits with sausage gravy.
Dude, my entire breakfast got wasted yesterday morning. They brought me an omelet. They brought me bacon, eggs, French toast, all this shit, and I didn't even end up eating any of it because I was so sick. And so I just sat there and went to wasting until they came and got it.
Can't do that coffee.
Yes, he is, Dre. Wait a minute. I don't know. Justin, you still in the big house?
Yeah, get out there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be
still in
here
the
probably till tomorrow. So,
I got cantaloupe too.
and then once I'm out, Drake can finish his classes with me to learn how to fly drones.
Brenda's
Well,
got to
you're on
go
the
get.
wrong road trip,
Brenda's
man.
going
Where
to
you
get
headed?
some antibiotics for a severe toothache.
I can already hear Dre, bitch. I'll put you back in the hospital.
Mr. Lockwood,
Yes, sir.
where you headed, man? You on a long journey there. All I see is road behind you.
Oh, I know, buddy. I'm way up to northern Saskatchewan, Canada.
You headed to Canada?
Yeah, he's already in Canada. He's been there
in
since
Canada.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. A lot of us need to cash app you, man, so you can come back with them birds.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's going fishing, Jonathan.
Oh, nice.
What's up, TJ?
Yeah, we can just
That
call
better.
in where Joe Zavata 2 is on the way back and bring it so that
Yeah, if you happen to see a tugboat,
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
the little bird inside.
Johnny's talking about going out there and getting it now.
Johnny is?
He's
Dude, you know how much
go
that
get
thing
it.
will be worth on eBay at the moment? A replacement of Vata 2. Don't even get it for yourself. Get that bitch to resell it.
well, if they get it, Joe, you can send it back to DJI, and then your Carry Fresh thing becomes a Carry Fresh thing, not a flyaway. So then they owe you money.
Dre.
I got it as a flyaway right now. Let it go.
Hello, Dre.
Well, good morning, everyone. I just want to speak directly to Justin. Won't you just hurry up and fart so you can go home? Gas
Pure
drive.
gas. And look, Dre's so serious. Look at his face. He's serious when he said that. He's going to pass the gas, man.
Up
Hey,
there
Dre.
trying to spend some time away from Sarah and the kids.
Well, the kids are all at camp.
The kids
But-
aren't even home.
Sarah went crazy yesterday. She went up to the hospital and started ragging on him for not giving Justin the proper care that he deserves.
All Justin need to do is roll over to the side and cut one loose and go home.
Well, I don't think that's causing him bleeding from the lungs, but okay.
Well, I said I'll give him the pneumonia part. That just means he need to stop sitting underneath the air conditioner at home. But that
Yeah.
gastritis crap, just go ahead and cut that fart and you go home, man.
Justin, you know what they're gonna tell you, right?
What?
No more tacos.
Oh, the hell they are.
No more burritos, no more tacos.
No more tacos, man.
Yeah, no spicy food.
They might as well put me in hospice at that point.
No more
Now that we
Joe's
got
still in the
the
Joe, you're
the
still in the
medical
hospital
report
till when?
update
Next
on
week?
Joe and Justin, I like to
Joe's
hear
there
from
till
Ron.
Thursday.
At least, possibly Monday.
Yeah, Thursday, possibly Monday.
Hello.
Hello.
Dre, how you, Mr. Dre?
Hold
How
on,
you
man.
doing?
I'm trying to get a call here. I'm gonna get out of this.
I'm
trying to
doing
mute
fine,
y'all.
Ron. I've been
Well, just
actually
answer it.
been
It'll mute
track you
automatic.
down, ask you some questions about your Insta camera. Because I know you have a couple of them. I've had them.
Oh yeah, I got the X5 now.
Okay, yeah, I picked up a X4. You know, I've been playing around with it a little bit. Quite.
I got my X4 with me as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to do a little crash course learning on how to do the editing on it and stuff.
Yeah,
But I kind of
the
like
new
it.
app. Yeah, the new app came out. I had a hard time. That new app started earlier in the year, I think, and I had a hell of a time trying to figure that out. But now once I figured it out, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, cameras I'll use on the boat up here. And you know what? The other thing I'm thinking about doing, Dre, is depending on, like I said, right now I'm just in gigantic pastures and fields. Once I get up into the mountains up here and start, getting into the mountains, so to speak, I'm gonna stick my 360 camera out through my sunroof.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I got the normal stick, and I went ahead and bought
Think about it, Bluey.
a 9-foot extension pole also.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's that?
All right, almost the Prince Albert.
That's the 2 hospital patients dropped off.
Yeah. We're done with the medical side of the show.
Ron? Ron?
Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you like a cop?
No, he's a paramedic.
Paramedic, yeah, okay, something along them lines. See, I'm looking at you, right, and I'm like, where's his seatbelt?
He's in Canada.
I'm in Canada. I have to take my
seatbelt in Canada?
They don't have
You
a
know what?
seatbelt law in Canada, I don't think.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Actually, I did. I forgot to put it on this morning. Shame on me.
Just riding. I'm like, I don't see no seatbelt.
God, it's
Either
annoying
goes in
over here now. The cars beep like that at you until you fasten your seatbelt.
We don't need nobody else in the hospital.
I think it's police.
Yeah.
Jonathan's looking out for you, Ron.
Jonathan's a good man. He's a good man.
Don't tell nobody.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I will anyhow. I've driven 1,500 miles. I left Wyoming yesterday morning. I have not seen a cop all through Wyoming, Montana, and Canada. The only thing I saw was a snotty border agent. So, yeah, Dre, you would have loved those guys yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah, what a guy was all steroided up and thick bodybuilding and everything, trying to act intimidating. And he started asking me all kinds of questions. And I have a new car, and my title's not back yet, so I have temporary tags, scotch taped into the windows. And he says, well, you live in Wyoming. Why did you buy a car there? And I said, they don't have car dealerships where I live. I said, I'm lucky I got a grocery store. You know, it's like, why
So
did you buy a car in South Dakota?
are you leading a tour or are you just a part of the tour?
No,
He's
new
on
outfitter.
vacation.
I'm on vacation. New outfitter I'm working for has an outfit in Wyoming where I'll be working, and then he runs an operation up in Canada. And I'm going up to see it, and he made mention about maybe next year if I had an interest of coming up here to work. So it's a possibility.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know
They're only
you've
letting
led some
him go
tours
up.
before in the past.
No, they're only letting him go up there so that he can take Pop-Tarts up to him.
Yeah. But right now, I'm just coming up just to fish. I think he has a few bear hunters left, so I might go out, tag along, and I just need to relax. And when I woke up this morning in that fog, I realized, like, yeah, I needed this. I was so, I literally was like disoriented, like 5 minutes. I must have been really tired last night. But I feel good today.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I say physical health and mental health is very important.
Oh, very. Yep.
Right, guys, it's my turn in the freezer, and we'll catch you all later.
Okay.
In the freezer?
All right, David, take care.
Yeah, we've hit 35 degrees already. And the hottest
Oh.
temperature not another hour and a half away.
Guys, I'm going to get my eyeballs back on the road and pay attention to my GPS. But
Okay,
guys have a
Ron,
great
thanks
day.
for stopping by. Have a safe trip.
Yeah, be
Thanks,
safe,
David.
man.
We'll touch base with you towards the weekend when I'm on my way home.
Yeah.
Cool,
All right,
cool.
Ron.
Yeah.
Be safe out there, partner.
That
See you guys.
GPS,
Take care.
that GPS that keeps saying
No.
go straight.
Yep,
Joe,
go straight.
Straight.
Nothing you said, just don't
Go
like it.
straight.
Bye. Only joking. Catch you later.
Okay.
See ya.
Yeah, Dre. Well, I'm with the food and the medicine. I'm totally full of gas, right? So they come in and they got me roll to the right, roll to my right, and as I roll, it goes. The nurse
Yeah,
said, "No
you
big
can
deal."
tell me your Marine Corps band stories.
Yeah,
She's practicing.
that thing just. Like that, I went, oh Lord, just when I moved, you know.
Yeah. That's all
They
Justin
gonna
needs.
talk about
Let
you.
out a good hearty one, and he can go home.
Yeah. Tell you what, when I have every once in a while, I feel the stomach getting all, and I let it go. Boys, it's good. Takes all that pressure off. That's the medication I'm taking.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now, last night at 6 o'clock, they gave me the Norco. That's the hydrocodone.
Right.
I
Pain
took
relief.
that, and then at 9 o'clock, 9:30, they came in and hit me with the Dilaudid. That was the one that was IV. She said, "Let me
Yeah.
give you this now because we'll stay ahead of everything." I said, "Okay." Man, I tell you what, that thing pushed. I felt it hit my head. Shoot. Still haven't had any pain.
That's good. Nothing worse than being there and being in discomfort, man. That sucks.
And the nurse now, like I said, I got the nurse today that used to be at Mandeville on a dance team. The one that came here the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she come in walking in and looking at me, kind of smiling. Down the other day. And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I wanted it up today." So she's talking to me, and she goes, "How you feel with the pain?" I said, "I'm good." She goes, "Well, about 10 o'clock, I'll bring it to you anyway, because you're going to need it." I said, "Okay." So she's going to be coming in and out here all day with me. That's good. She's about the prettiest one so far, you know?
Really?
Oh, they had one other night. What was her name? Natalie. That came in. She was coming in because my thing was going off and all this stuff. And she came in, brown hair, brown eyes, totally. God darn it, she's pretty.
Your thing was going off? What?
I said my machine was going off.
Oh, okay.
Stop being
Yeah,
dirty.
that was going off too, Paul.
No, it wasn't. Put it like this. I can't focus enough to want anything else to go off. You know?
So it looks like you're probably going to go home next week then, right, Joe?
Well, it could be Thursday, you know. Like I said, it could be Thursday. But I told her, I don't care if I'm here over the weekend. I really don't. And she said they're telling me usually they want 7 days that where they can control it from the surgery, and that'll be 7 days Monday.
Yeah.
So she said, well, what we'll probably do is look. She's gonna have her care team do all the bandaging and that. Nobody else gonna fool with it, right?
Yeah, all this
And,
free you're saving a fortune, aren't you, Joe?
Yeah, I am. And then you ready for the best? As soon as I get home, I get 14 days of free meals.
Free food as well. Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's good. The dogs are doing better since she's going twice a day. She was brushing. I make her sit down and brush them for a few minutes, and she's doing that, and the dogs are loving it. You know.
Nice.
So they're at least getting some time. You know, the only thing I don't like is I always have Fox News on most of the time, and she done changes to the BBC.
Some of the TV at home?
Yeah, she says she got to unbrainwash my dogs.
But Joe, you ain't even home.
I know.
How you gonna not like that? You ain't even there to see it.
Because I don't want my dogs hearing that shit.
Nobody's allowed to feed his dogs bullshit but Joe.
I don't give him bullshit. I let him listen to Fox News.
Yeah, that's
Be quiet, Dre.
That's crazy.
Hey, Sergeant
But see, I
I
get it though. Cause like if my mother's here, right, she'll turn on the TV in the living room, and she'll go out in the backyard. And then I go turn the TV off. She'll come out. Why you turn the TV off? I was listening to it. I see you listening to it where, man? Outside?
Yeah.
Here comes Lance from Hawaii.
Lance.
Aloha.
I like the way Lance is keeping his schedule while he's on vacation. This is what, 3 a.m. in Hawaii right now?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Lance is crazy, man.
Lance said he ain't gonna have the jet lag when he get back.
I think it's 4 a.m. Going on 4.
What are they? 5 or 6 hours ahead?
I think it's
behind.
They're 11 hours behind.
We're
us.
3 hours behind Pacific time.
Quarter to 3. Quarter to 4.
Yeah, you're going to 4 a.m. right?
Yeah.
Right now? There?
Yeah, he coming up on 4. I was gonna say he's
4,
3 hours
3.
behind the West Coast.
7, 6, 5, 4. Yeah. 10 to 4.
Yeah.
How you doing this morning, Lance?
Yeah, the reason why Lance keeps getting up early is he hasn't changed his clocks from Seattle time.
Well, that tell you the truth, that's a good thing. Keep your normal schedule even when you're on vacation.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be there long.
You know.
Now, when do you leave, Lance?
Thursday. Coming home Thursday.
You said that already 3 times. Every
4 times.
Every day.
Every day on Paul's 51st dates.
Well, when you coming home, Lance?
Now he's that guy that only has a short term. And remember that he'll ask you 50 times in a minute and a half.
Lance, didn't you say that you were coming home Thursday?
Thursday to the Pacific Northwest. The
I'm about to
beautiful
mute you.
Pacific Northwest.
Lance, didn't you say the Pacific Northwest
Somebody
was
mute
the
Paul.
spot on Earth?
Yes.
Stop it.
Somebody mute Paul.
Well, I tell you, Lance, those pictures were a big hit across Facebook yesterday.
Yeah, that was some bad
everybody, wherever you posted it, everybody loved it.
There's definitely some great shots right there.
Thank you, fellas.
Anybody seen Mario this morning?
No.
TJ.
He was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, TJ was in the chat.
I think he's working.
I seen him in the chat.
No, he's not. He works in the afternoon. He's too lazy.
I already said he working this early.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause he closed
sometimes
last night.
sometimes they have him open, and he's not particularly happy with that. But
No, he's probably not working, and he's probably just taking another nap. His mid-morning nap.
He
or
need
he's
to
up
work,
to his
he
neck in
need to
his
work
breakfast
open to
bowl.
close.
Cereal. What in the world?
Yeah, I'm 12 hours from any pain medicine given to me, right? And I'm starting to feel it now. So
So
I'll be.
when's your next supposed to get pain medication?
Well, I could call and you bring it now.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but I'm gonna try to wait till 10 o'clock.
Well, you might as well figure by the time they get there, it'll be 10 o'clock.
No, it's that fast. All I gotta do is page her. She'll be right here.
Well, like I say, Joe, suck it up, take it easy. Because when you get home, you ain't gonna have that kind of service.
That's right.
All you.
Why you think I'm here? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
why you think I'm staying here? You know, like I said, it's better for me to stay here than go home and screw it up. Because I'm gonna have to cook for myself and everything else.
Well, the thing is here is you're gonna be up, you're gonna have to be up on your feet, which means that gravity gonna bring that pressure down on that leg, and then
Yep,
you really
yep.
gonna start feeling it.
Yep, that's why I told it doesn't do it as much now because I still get up and go to the bathroom.
Right.
And I use the walker, right? But
Mhm.
like before the surgery, before the graft, boy, I tell you what, I would really take a pain pill every time I leaned over the bed.
Yeah.
But since the surgery, I've got up one time and it's not bad. But like she told me today, she said, "Did you get to the bathroom?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "How much weight did you put on it?" I said, "The only weight that was ever on it was when I sat down." And I said, "And it really wasn't sitting down putting it on it." I said, "I just had it resting on the floor."
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "That's good, just as long as you're not pushing that hard on it."
Right.
I
I said
said, "Yeah."
this gravity itself, just the blood flow through the body. That's when you start knowing what kind of pain you're gonna have.
But I've got a vacuum system on it now, and I had a list of questions. And she came in, she says, "Yeah, you worked EMS because you asking me all those right questions." And I told her, I said, "You got it on there. It was draining so much when they were putting the fluid in. I understand that. We were getting the same volume out." I said, "But right now, it's not showing me anything." She looked at it and she goes, "Well, I'll be honest with you. When we do the graph like that, if we do a vacuum on it, the vacuum on it's basically to hold everything in place till it starts attaching." She said, "Which is about 7 days. So
Right.
that'll be Monday, right? About 7 days, it should be attached." And
That's what
she
I said.
says,
You
"If
basically you've had 2 surgeries then.
I've had 2 surgeries, one
Yeah.
Wednesday and one Monday, and then that should be the last one, hopefully."
Yeah.
But she said that's good if you do that. I said, "Yeah, when I got to go over there, it's really easy to do, you know." But I tell you what, when I went there after surgery, I had the point where I kept that gas kept going, right? The gas kept going, and I went to push that gas one time. I said, "Oh hell no, stop!" You know. And I went in there, and all I'm gonna tell you is, if we could have measured it, I think we'd had a Guinness's record because that shit wrapped around the toilet like 4 times. One solid piece. Because that really got me. I started going. I said, "What the hell? It ain't stopping. Where's it coming from?" But I tell you, I felt so better after that.
Be surprised how much waste we store in our bodies.
Oh, I know. So I do know my colon and everything's being cleaned out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
So
thing.
figure this: I was 227 the day I hurt myself, and I probably had to go to the bathroom later. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been going to the bathroom all this time with all the stuff, with all the fluid coming out of me. The Taurusamide makes me go to. I fill up like 8 urinals before lunch, and so I'm wondering what I weigh today since all that stuff's getting out of me. You know, I'm thinking it's got to be 7 pounds difference. I'll find out eventually. You know, and then I asked him if when can I go back on that Manjaro, and she told me, she says, "Well, we don't have any surgeries planned because you got to wait a week after you take that."
Hmm.
And she said, well, "I'll get with Dr. Tran and see if you can go back on it. I don't want to skip more than a week, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but
That way it doesn't affect too
your
much."
body's going through something, so
Yeah.
let it, like I said, let your body heal itself, and that Mounjaro ain't going nowhere.
Yep. And today, like I said, I got this is the most food I got this morning, and I got like the cereal I'm not fooling with. I got to drink the Ensure. I had to drink the other thing, and then I have the cereal for sometime if I get hungry later. But but today at lunchtime they got that gumbo. Is coming in. Hell no, it ain't no Louisiana gumbo. I think it came from Don.
As it got that Campbell soup gumbo.
No, Campbell soup gumbo is better than this. Yeah, guarantee it's somebody in Missouri and some little old outhouse made this thing. Give it another minute. He'll be here. Yeah, I want to see if it's any better this week. Last week it was a little bit like a half a cup of rice, no juice in it, no gravy, nothing, no fluid. It was a bunch of like shredded pieces of chicken on top, with the thick gravy kind of stuck to it, right? And then it's like chicken and sausage. So I had the chicken. I went looking for the sausage, and I found three little bitty like crescents of sausage that were like a Vienna sausage,
Mm.
and they were cut like a half inch, like an eighth inch thick. So I had 3/8 inch pieces of burnt Vienna sausage. You know, the one thing, it did have a good taste, but it was a hell no.
Right.
That was when I told my daughter. I called her up. I said, "What time you going to the house?" And she said, "What time you need me to? What's the matter?" I said, "Because I'm getting ready to place an order at Subway downstairs. You need to run down there." I did. I ordered. There was the first thing I've had in 10 weeks from any kind of fast food.
Mm-hmm.
I figured Subway was closer to not fast food. So I got the two Italian BMT subs. I added all kind of stuff to them, and it was buy one get one for $1. So I got two of them for $1. And then when she went home, I told her put it in the fridge. I'll be home tomorrow, because that's what they were telling me. So
Mm-hmm.
when they decided they got to do the surgery, I'm here. When she went back the next day, I said, "Wrap that sucker up, put it in the freezer." So I got a Subway in the freezer waiting for me.
Oh boy.
I got a method behind my madness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the other thing, Jonathan. Jonathan's still here? I don't see either. There. He's on mute. The other thing, Jonathan will know that if I go home right now, I'm gonna want to try to set up that printer.
Yeah, well, that's just what I'm saying. It's just the little things that are going to add to the, potential pain level you're going to experience.
Yeah.
Because like I say, right there, you're being catered to. You hit a
Yep.
button, people show up. At home, you have to get up.
Yeah, and the first thing I got to do to set up that printer is I got to move the other printer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got to get behind things to unplug things.
Yeah, which you ain't gonna be able to do.
Yeah, so the first thing when I pick it up, I'm gonna probably lose my grip. It's gonna hit me on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
So hell no, I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny said he'd come over and help me, but I'm afraid that he'd leave with it. You know.
Yeah, he was on Joe Nation last night. I
Yeah.
kind of feel bad for those guys now, and even Bill, because I said they don't have much to talk about anymore.
Well, I know. Did you see me and Dobo get into it?
No, I watched about. I think I came in right toward the beginning of the show, and I think I watched maybe 10, 15 minutes before they even really got into anything. I don't know. I just didn't. It just didn't have much interest last night. I watched Lloyd for a little while, and I watched Pilot Institute, their question and answer period before that. So I was already kind of run down.
Yeah, Dobo came in there last night, and he said, "What are half of you worried about? If your shit breaks, it's not your livelihood." I told those that do this and rely on DJI to buy redundancy months ago, right? He says,
Mm-hmm.
"Every one of you are worried about the latest shit instead of what you needed." Effing FOMO syndrome, right? So he said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came back at him and I said, "You're not the only one in the chat or in the community that makes money with drones. So don't assume that we don't." I said, "There's no reason for you to come in with a freaking attitude." Right?
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and he says, let me find it. He says, "Hey USA." He said, "Joe Blow, we aren't the same. Period. You and I aren't cut out of the same cloth, so go suck a." And I said, "You're absolutely right, Ken. We're not cut out of the same cloth. I'm not cut out of silk or satin. I'm cut out of the Marine Corps material." I said, "I served to protect you." I said, "But I know that's a typical thing you're going to say since you'd probably drink it."
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I said,
Yeah,
I'm cut, I'm cut from the Marine Corps. That's what I told
he
him.
had an interesting show earlier yesterday. I watched, had a couple interesting guys on there, and I left a really nice comment because I liked how the show went that he did about these guys talking about all the other things that should be prioritized
Right.
when you run a business. You know,
Right.
invest in yourself, improve your skill set, all these different things that add value to what you're doing.
Right.
I get to his point where, like I say, he left his 9 to 5 to do drones
Right.
full time. So yeah, it is a gut punch for people like him and Dale and folks over at Drone Nerds. And like I tell everybody else, I said Best Buy is going to be fine. Best Buy was doing fine before drones got popular.
Right. Absolutely.
B&H is going to be fine. They were selling camera gear and other gear before drones got popular. All this kind of stuff. They'll just move on to whatever the next trend is
Right.
to fill that gap. And that's why I've always emphasized people. I said, you're far as being a content creator and everything else, if you focus on helping people become better pilots and not just worry about what's the next release, you will have more longevity in the hobby than somebody who just reviews what's coming up. And that's
Yeah,
why
you
I
got a
tell you
point.
guys, a lot of you guys were all dependent upon the leaks from Igor or Jasper and whoever. I said, hey, when this stuff dries up, what you gonna do?
Yep.
I said, are you actually gonna be able to tell people about what other intricacies of flying a drone, becoming a better flyer of a drone, how to do certain elements work, whatever. Even if you're a hobbyist, what are some of the other techniques? That's why some people like the Jason Dovies and people like Joven Dovies and people like that. They've been around so long because they just incorporated drones in what they were already doing. It
Right.
didn't become the sole focus of all what they did.
Right.
And I was like I said, like I talked about in my show, I said the drone is simply a tool. That's all it is for me. It's just a tool.
It is. He changed your system. I was
Yeah.
about to go back. I'm gonna say, so in other words, if you don't have enough equipment, I was gonna go back and say, so if you don't have enough equipment, you better get a couple of Osmos.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I'm glad that he didn't tell me something like that when I was in South Florida, or if I was in South Florida, especially like about a year or two ago, because
Yeah.
I need bail money.
Need bail
Yeah.
money. What you done did?
I
Yeah.
would have with Dobo last night. You didn't hear what I said?
No.
Let me go. I'll read it for you. Let me get it. So I copied these things so I wouldn't lose them. Johnny had a fit. He said, "I don't know why Ron didn't boot him off the channel." He said he came on and said, What are half of you worried about? If your shit breaks, it's not your livelihood. I told those that do this that rely on DJI to buy redundancy months ago. Every one of you are worried about the latest shit instead of what you needed. FOMO syndrome, right? So I went back and I said, Dobo, I said, you're not the only one in the chat or in the community that makes money with drones. Don't assume we don't. No reason for you to come in with an attitude. I was nice, right? Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and he come back as a Dobo. He said, hey, USA Joe Blow, we aren't the same, period. You and I aren't cut from the same cloth, so go suck up.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I came back and I said, you're absolutely right, Ken. We're not cut from the same cloth. I'm not cut from silk or satin. I'm cut from the Marine Corps. I said, I served to protect you. What a typical original Dobo answer. I guess you're drinking.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He never responded, did he?
No, he didn't respond after that.
Yeah.
But Johnny had a fit that Ron didn't block that when he started that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I know Ron was, kind of excited that Dobo was in the chat when he first popped in.
Well, he's like, this is the commandant of the Marine Corps. Ooh, we got to do this. Oh, bullshit. He's bullshit. He's just another man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just. I guess it's the Marine in me. I drove him around. I found out, hey, they're just another person like me.
Yeah.
You know.
I got to tell a lot of people. I had when I was in, especially when I worked in as a legal officer, dude. I had to sit there and counsel first sergeants,
Yeah.
captains, majors, colonels on what they could and couldn't do
Right.
as far as Article 15, punishment, all this kind of stuff. And like you said, you get to know them, you get to talk to them, and you talk like you and I are talking right now. And you realize these individuals are not all God Almighty. They're just like any other guy. Put the pants on one leg at a time, and they need advice too on things because they don't know it all.
Well, I had facilities maintenance inspections do that with supply, right? These are big deals. So they go through and they know if you don't get a no finding, you're gonna be working your ass off. Let's put it that way. So I was at 8th District, New Orleans. When I got here, we had one no finding. Second year, we got our second consecutive. Third year, we got our third consecutive. And the last year here, I've been running for 2 years now. So I ain't nothing gonna happen, right? So we get this captain comes in and this master gunnery sergeant, and I'm sitting there the whole time going through everything with him. And he says, "Well, we got a finding here." And he says, "It's with your petty fund." I said, "What is that? What do you mean? What's the finding?" He says, "You're supposed to have an individual line item cut on each purchase, and what you're doing is you have one line item, and you're breaking it down." I said, "Okay." And he says, "We can't do it that way." I said, "Where does it say I can't do it that way?" I said, "Because if I have 30 purchases, I have say the numbers 3,400, 3,400.1, 3,400.2, 3,400.3. That's individual line items."
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to him like that. My lieutenant, he hadn't picked up. He hadn't picked. What was he? Was he a major? He was a captain. He hadn't picked up major yet. He was freaking out on the other side of the table because I was going off on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's my shop still. So
Right.
I told him. I said we have no findings in the past. I said maybe the Marine Corps to change the shit. That's how I said it, right? And now he gets a little bit on me, and I get a little bit on him. So the captain just stayed there and let me handle it. He didn't say nothing, right, mine? And the captain that was inspecting us sat there, and he let us two go, right? Because we were both enlisted. So we're going through it. And I'm just a sergeant at the time. And I went through. I said, you got to show me why. If I don't break this down, so why do I have to make 16 or 20 or 30 logbooks entries when I got to write each one down? When I could say 3,400.1 through 0.3 or 0.20, and it's petty cash fund. Bam.
Right.
That's all I have to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, and everything I did on petty cash is documented off of this. They could open that up and look at it.
Right.
So this went on for about 30 minutes. I don't think that can happen. I'm gonna submit it to headquarters Marine Corps, and we're gonna look at it. But we think we're gonna have a major finding on you. And my captain's freaking out because they don't want to break the streak, right?
Right.
I said, Fine." I said, "I know it's right." About later in the afternoon, they both sit down and they come in there and they said, "Well, we want to let you know." The Marine Corps said it's good. Headquarters Marine Corps said they liked it. In fact, we're gonna start implementing it everywhere else. Like that, and Major Rivers looked over at me. Captain Rivers looked over at me, my boss, and he took a deep breath, right? And he said, "You stood your ground." I said, "I was right."
Yeah.
He said, "You weren't belligerent. You weren't anything. You were respectful." He gave me a meritorious mask just for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, and I told him, I said, Gunny might have been 6 inches taller than me, but he wore the same kind of pants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care. I'm not gonna let them intimidate me. You know,
Right. Especially,
if I know it's right.
like I say, you know it's right. You've
Uh-huh.
been inspected before, never caused an issue. So, like you said, unless the Marine Corps has changed policy
And they didn't.
how they want it done, this has been satisfactory, above satisfactory, exemplary result because you guys have been awarded for it.
Right. They actually said that it streamlined the situation.
Right.
Right. And when I was at 8th District, I had like 15 different things that I did that way, that between me and Major Beckers. Major Beckers ran that place before he left. And we'd go through the things and talk about it and do it. And I give him an idea, he give an idea, we do it. And we had like 14 different policies in Marine Corps book that we changed enough that they put them in.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, now Lance could have said, "I know Joe," and why, and I was in the Marine Corps, and they would have. They said, "Do you know Joe?" And they said, "Yeah, we know Joe." But that's a whole different life, you know. But I'm still the same way. I don't care who you are. You know, I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm not gonna get belligerent. But you start getting belligerent with me, you have a chance of me having to get bail money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
You guys heard Trump's latest.
here we go. I haven't heard anything.
He's down in Florida, opening a new migrant detention center in the
Gator
Everglades.
Alcatraz.
In the Everglades. And his comment was, "Well, these alligators will soon teach them how to run."
Yeah, I did hear that. He said they'll teach him how to run. You don't go straight. You got to go back and forth, and you might get about a second gap. Something like that.
Yeah.
Serpentine.
Okay, guys. I got an appointment I got to go to.
Okay.
So, thanks for popping in, Dre and Mark.
No, we meant like bye. You go to your appointment. We'll be here when you get back. Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna go too. I gotta hit the bathroom.
Joe's got to go potty, and so we'll see all of you again later.